Whenever we plan of getting a hair transplant done, the first thing that comes to our mind is safety. Because while we do want great hair, we want a head full of hair, we definitely do not want to compromise on safety. So in my video today, I'm going to talk about the most safe technique of hair transplant. Hi friends, I'm Dr. Urvashi Chandra. I have been practicing hair transplants in Delhi since the last 13 years. So now, to understand the safety, we first need to understand what kind of complications or problems can occur after a hair transplant, and according to these complications, which is the most safe technique. So the first complication that can happen is scarring. So the scarring can be in the form of little dot-like marks, or it can be one long linear line, depending upon the technique that you've chosen. So in the oldest method, which is the strip technique or the FUT, the technique was to extract the full strip of skin from the back of the scalp, which is the donor area, and then this entire strip was sutured. So obviously there was a long linear scar. The second technique, which is FUE, produces little dot-like marks which are white in color in the donor area. The technique that we are doing in Chandra Clinic for hair transplant is the BIO-IPT technique. In this technique, we are using ultra-fine sharp punches to extract grafts from the back of the scalp. Because we are using very fine ultra-thin punches, which is why the scarring that occurs in the back is almost minimal. So which is why it gives you freedom to keep your head shaved in case you plan to do so in the future. The second most common complication that can arise out of a hair transplant is unnatural look. Now, whether the transplanted hair look perfectly natural or not depend upon a couple of factors. A very important factor is the angle and direction at which the hair is implanted. So while in the traditional FUE or the FUT technique, holes are made, and inside these holes, grafts are inserted using a forceps. Inside these holes, the graft may change direction. However, in the hair transplant technique that we do at Chandra Clinic, which is the BIO-IPT technique, we are using specialized implanter pens. The huge advantage of these implanter pens is that they help us in putting the grafts at the exact natural angle and direction in which the hair are naturally present. Now, because the angle and direction are perfectly controlled with the implanter pen in the BIO-IPT technique, which is why the result of the hair transplant looks perfectly natural, which is what it means is that if somebody is looking at you, they will not be able to make out that this is transplanted hair, and they will feel that this is your own natural hair. The third problem that can arise out of a hair transplant is uneven skin healing. So sometimes when we see follow-up patients of FUE or FUT, we see that the skin healing in the implanted area is not very smooth. So there can be pits or there can be some skin elevations which are called cobblestoning. However, in the technique that we use at Chandra Clinic, which is BIO-IPT technique, where we are using implanter pens, the skin healing in the implanted area is perfectly smooth. So there are no pits, there are no skin lesions. The skin is absolutely plain like it was previously. The fourth thing that we feel scared of when we think of getting a hair transplant done is pain. So yes friends, we do want our hair, but we want it to be as painless as possible. In the typical older strip technique, where an entire strip was cut from the back of the scalp, the pain was a little more, the downtime was more, patients had to rest for about a week to 10 days. However, with newer techniques such as the BIO-IPT technique, the pain is minimal, the downtime is minimal, patients can get back to work right the next day of the procedure. Also, what is very important friends is to always make sure that a qualified surgeon is doing your hair transplant, because that is very important to ensure your safety. Whichever clinic you choose for your hair transplant should be having all emergency protocols in place, all sterilization and hygiene protocols should be in place, and only a qualified doctor should be performing your surgery. At Chandra Clinic, we ensure that only qualified doctors perform your surgery. So friends, if you like my video, please do share, do subscribe to our channel, and please do press the notification bell so that whenever we get a new video, you're notified about it. Bye-bye.